Hey everyone, Jang here for Orange ModWorks, and I've got a batch of questions that have been asked across various social media platforms, and I'm going to go through and give some answers to them. The plan is to do this every so often and try to collect any questions that don't get answered in other videos in one place. So if you have a question on any videos or posts, that may end up in a video in the future. Of course, for questions relating to orders or support, definitely contact support@orangemodworks.com. First up, when will the Edge Attachments Retaliator Slamfire kit be available? So this kit was available for a period and is currently being ported to the new e-commerce platform at the time of filming. If it's not back up by the time you watch this, it should be soon. Are new mod or hardware kits for blasters being developed or planned for the future, or is that no longer something Orange ModWorks is focusing on? It absolutely is. The plan is to release the planned products from the Project Orange line first, such as the Retaliator Fusion kit and the Longshot system, and then there are more kits currently in development as well for after that. The addition of SLS printers has really opened up more options for not just rapidly prototyping to test and tweak ideas, but also produce nylon parts for kits in-house, instead of relying on outside sources. Are there any other projects being worked on that can be talked about? This sort of ties into the last question, so of course the kit's mentioned already, and there is also a small form factor blaster in the early stages of development as well. The big thing I'd like to discuss with this question though is a lot of the kits that have been developed or released previously or are even soon to be released are for older blasters. So the question is, what blasters would all of you like to see internal kits for in the future? There's a lot of options out there now, so hearing from everyone what they'd like to see will help drive the direction of future kits. What is the reason that Cybertech pre-orders are getting blasters as compensation, but not those who pre-ordered other products that hit issues such as the Longshot kit or Edge Attachment Slamfire kit? Now, it's completely understandable to feel some level of frustration seeing some people receive a blaster as compensation for one order, but not for a different product order. One of the major differences between Project Orange pre-orders and pre-orders for the Cybertech line was the system being used to handle those payments. With the Project Orange pre-orders, the funds were held and never actually made it to the company, allowing an easy release of the funds back to customers with a simple click of a button. However, for the Cybertech pre-orders, that wasn't the case. The funds did get received by the company, making the refunding process take longer, and that was only compounded by other factors brought on by the pandemic and more. These issues all factored together, leading to the decision to compensate Cybertech pre-orders with an SR200 blaster. I hope this explanation gives you a little more of a detailed reasoning on why the decisions were made the way they were. Is the buffer tube in the SR200 tactical kit reinforced at all, or is it plastic all the way through? It is entirely 3D printed plastic, but the print has been beefed up a significant amount to lower the chances of breakages. Of course, if any issues do arise, they will be addressed with the appropriate revisions to prevent any found issues in the future. Will Cybertech blasters take community standard size half darts? This is a big one, and the answer is yes and no. This could be a video of its own, but the brief version is the longer the dart, the larger the system needed to launch that dart at higher velocities and higher rates of fire in an AEB style blaster. The increase in components required for longer darts would not only lead to a bulkier and heavier blaster, but also increase the cost as well. So if a smaller form factor AEB were to be made, it might require shorter darts to function at those higher settings. Now, a side bonus of shorter darts would mean mag and grip designs would be more comfortable and not as chunky. This then creates some questions. Would you want to have two different length darts depending on blaster size within the same line? Would you want certain trade-offs for community standard size darts across the entire line, like a slower rate of fire or lower FPS at higher rates of fire? These are things that your feedback would be greatly valued on, so absolutely share your thoughts on this. Will older products like the o-tac Hammershot kit make a return? This is actually still available on the Orange ModWorks website, but if there are any other older products you have questions about returning, please leave them in the comments. Are smaller form factor blasters something that Orange ModWorks could develop? Taking the experience from making kits for blasters like the Hammershot and then using that to make an Orange ModWorks small form blaster? Yes, this is something that is definitely being explored for future products. Does the breech in the SR200 allow for mags to be fully seated while closed? Yes, you can pull your mags out and reseat them back in with the breech entirely closed on the SR200. And that does it for this batch of questions. If you had a question that didn't get answered, please leave it down below. And I hope answering these questions has given a bit of insight on some things and would welcome all of your thoughts and opinions as well. They are heard and taken into consideration. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.